I've got an idea. Let's look at two different tools we can use for online whiteboards as we pursue distance learning with our students here in this new age. So when looking for whiteboard solutions for distance learning, one of the tools that we have available to us is Jamboard. So I'm over here on the top right, which is the waffle, and my Jamboard icon is right here in the middle right. Now, it's important to note that it might not be in the same spot for you, so make sure you scroll down and look and find Jamboard. And when you click on Jamboard, and so many Google products, you have a plus button to start a new one. So I'll draw your attention to the bottom right, the orange plus button. And here you have Jamboard. So the directions and the tools available here are pretty simple. And so I'll draw your attention over here to the left. So you see you have your clear frame, okay? You have your pen, and when you click on pen, you see you have four different types. You have paint, a paintbrush, you have a highlighter, you have a marker, and then you have a basic pen. And then, of course, you have some basic colors that you can use. So if I choose marker and I choose blue, you see that I can write right here. Now, you are using your trackpad, so it is important to note that maybe you want to get an external mouse if you're better with that. And, of course, you can always prepare this ahead of time before you actually start a Google Meet with your kiddos. If you want to erase something, you can go ahead and use the icon on back here at the left, erase, and then go ahead and erase what you've done in order to get rid of it. But you can also use the back arrow here, the undo arrow, which is something you're probably familiar with from other Google products. Here, the arrow underneath is just select. It's a basic cursor. And then underneath there is sticky note. Now, with sticky note, what you can do is you're adding text to the sticky note, then it will post on your Jamboard. So here, add a sticky note, and you see the blue progress bar here shows you how much you can actually store. If I hit save, boom, it pops up. Now, you're going to hit cancel if you're done adding sticky notes. Notice that you can change the color, okay, or you can have no color at all. So that's a nice feature, and you can use it for a variety of reasons. You can move it. You can also, you can duplicate it. You can edit it. So if you want to type more to it, you can also increase its size as well as its direction. Okay, next, if you want to add an image. So here, notice that you can do a Google image search right here. You can draw from your Google Drive, or if you have downloaded an image from maybe a Google image search of your own, maybe Discover Education, another image source, you can download that and bring that into your Jamboard. So if I select files from my device, and here, the very first one that I see is, I'm going to use a family photo. That probably will not be what it is that you would like to add into your Jamboard, but whatever image you have, you can add it. So you see here it adds that. You can move it. You can use your marker and write on it, refer to it, do whatever it is that you would like to do. And then lastly, you have a pointer, a laser, and that's designed to just draw your audience's attention to something. So if you already have this set up and now you're just wanting to draw their attention to something, you can. I'll draw your attention to the top up here. You can add another frame to this Jamboard. So if you click on that right arrow, there you have another one. And this is one file. This is one Jamboard. So in this case, this is one Jamboard consisting of two boards. And it can be as many as you'd like it to be. Over here, you'll notice that there is a blue share button so that you can collaborate with others and they can add to that, much like any Google document, like a slideshow or a Google Doc or Sheets or something like that. So Jamboard, you can title it, as well as you can also share it on Google Classroom. A lot of great options. This is one of your whiteboard options available to you when you're working with students in a distance learning capacity. The second web online whiteboard tool that I want to show you is one that is embedded inside of Discovery Education. And you kind of got to dig into it. It's not right there on your home screen. It's in Science Textbook, which we all have access to at all the sites. And so it doesn't really matter what Science Textbook you go into. First things first, if you have not logged into Discovery Education, you want to go to google.discoveryeducation.com. And then when it asks, and if it asks for login credentials, you want to use your email, username, and password. Then when you get there, a homepage like this will show up. It might look a little bit different for you based on how much you've used it. But one of the things you will see is this green tile here, the Science Textbook. You want to go ahead, and mine's on the right over here, and you want to go ahead and click on that. Now, you do have a choice to choose Science Textbooks. It doesn't matter, especially if you don't teach science. It doesn't matter which one you're in. What you want to do is actually dig into the Science Textbook before this actually becomes an option, which is the online whiteboard. So here, I'm just going to pick a particular concept. It's like opening a chapter in a book. And when I open it up, I'm going to direct your attention over here to the right. Right here, it says more. And right there towards the bottom under tools, you have a whiteboard. All right, now the whiteboard has popped up. Let me go ahead and move this right here. Okay. The whiteboard has popped up. You can make it bigger. You can get rid of your other web browser, hide it, just have this up. And when you screen share on Meet, this is something that you can share and present to students. You can do it ahead of time, and then have it ready when you present, whatever suits your needs for sure. Many of the features here on this whiteboard are similar to what is in Jamboard. Some are more advanced and you have some more features, and then Jamboard is easier in a couple different ways. But this is definitely a much more intricate tool than what you have compared to the basic features of Jamboard. All right, so I'm going to direct your attention up here to the top left, and you have a menu of tools that you have available to you. First one is right here, the marker. And what you see here is you can change the color and the size. So you can change it from a pen to a big old fat marker. I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to change it to blue, let's say. Okay. And what you see here is I have the option to write. And then also I can, over here, I'm going to direct your attention up here to the undo arrow. Just like in Jamboard, you can undo it, you can redo it based on what suits your purposes. Over here, you have next to marker, you have shapes. And in this case, what you can do is create a shape, you can rotate it, you can make it more opaque, you name it, change the stroke color, all kinds of different options with shapes. All right, you can choose from several different shapes that you have available to you. You also have lines. You can build a polygon. I'm going to skip images for now. I'll come to images in just a second. You can insert a text box. I'm going to stop here for a second. Notice that this text box is similar to Jamboard in that it almost appears as a sticky note, but you have more options here in the Discovery Ed whiteboard, almost like a word processing, like a Google Doc or Microsoft Word. All right. So here See here, I can change fonts, I can change font size, I can bring in geometry symbols, special symbols. I can do it, change my text box background. Maybe I change it to orange. I can insert a table, you name it. And when I hit return or click off, there's my text box. All right. And I can move it, I can rotate it, I can go back in and edit it again. I have a lot of options there if I choose to. Okay, then you also have a chance to add a background, and the background are more math in orientation. You can make a grid, a number line, you name it. You can also customize it. So you can add your own personal grid here, and you can customize it to fit your particular circumstance. Also, then I'm going to go back to what I didn't cover beforehand, which was to insert an image. Now, here's a little bit more difficult because in Jamboard, you could insert an image straight from your computer, or if you have one saved in Google, in your Drive, or you can do a Google image search right in there and boom, bring it to your Jamboard. Not the case here in Discovery Ed. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to upload an image from Discovery Ed into what's called My Content, like a My Content folder, or from your computer into My Content, into a My Content folder. So a little bit more difficult, but really not that difficult, but it just takes a couple more steps than it does in Jamboard. But you can enter an image just like you do in Jamboard. So here I have an image of a camel in a desert, and it brings it right in, and I can move it, and I can draw on it, I can refer to it, you name it. I have that option, and I can use it as a presentation tool, just like you do in Jamboard. So there's a lot of great features here, and I urge you to take advantage of it when you are working with students in a distance learning capacity. Last couple features, down here at the bottom left, you'll see it says snapshot. I can take a snapshot of what I've created and then maybe download it and attach it to Google Classroom. I could even bring it into a slideshow if I want, you name it. So I can pre-build things, take snapshots of them, and use them instructionally in my distance learning capacity in Google Meet. And you can also import a CSV. If in fact you have a spreadsheet and you want to import that and use it as a way to illustrate a concept or relationship between numbers, you have that ability there as well. So there's a lot of really great opportunities that you have here, and I urge you to take advantage of them in our current circumstance. I'm available anytime you need me. Please email me, jgillig@lusd.net. Stay safe. I'm doing this on the Friday before spring break, so I hope you have a wonderful spring break. Thanks a lot.